Hello students, this is the continuation video of the previous chapter, that is friction. So in my last class we have discussed what is friction and what are the different types of friction. So it is an opposing force which comes into play when one body tries to slide or move over another body. So friction can be of internal friction, it can be external friction. Internal friction we have seen, that is the viscosity of a liquid. And external friction is being subdivided into three parts, that is static friction, limiting friction and kinetic friction. So if you have seen my previous video, so there I have drawn one graph. That graph was in this nature. So here this is the applied force and this is the force of friction. So when you are applying force and the force which is applied on an object and it is directly proportional to friction, but still the object is not in motion. So the applied force, when it becomes to the frictional force which is acting in the backward direction, so we get a linear curve. That one we say 0 to A. This OA is the curve of static friction, right? Now when you increase your force, when the object is at a verge of moving, the friction which is acting on that object, that is called limiting friction. So here I will consider this one as limiting friction, right? And this one as static friction. Now after applying a more force, applied force more than that of frictional force, just more than that of limiting friction, then object starts moving and the friction which is acting on that object is said to be as kinetic friction. So here object is moving with kinetic friction. So from this graph it is clear that limiting friction is greater than the static friction. It is greater than that of kinetic friction, right? So there are a few laws of static friction, limiting and as well as kinetic. We will see on board. So laws of static friction, first law is that a limiting friction depends upon the nature of the surface in contact and their polish. So out of static, limiting and kinetic friction, static friction depends upon the nature of surface in contact. That means if the surface is smooth, if the surface is rough, so this static friction will depend on that factor. Next, it acts tangentially to the two surfaces in contact and is opposite to the direction of motion of the body. Now what does this mean? Static friction is also called as self-adjusting friction, because when you are applying a force in the forward direction, an equal and opposite force, it acts in the backward direction, but the object is not moving. Both the forces are balanced. So you see, when you are applying a small force in forward direction, a small frictional force is acting in the backward direction. Okay, the object is at rest. When you increase the applied force but still the object is in its rest position, this means that when you're increasing the applied force, a frictional force also increased in opposite direction. That's why this static friction is said to be as self-adjusting friction, because it determines it determines the direction of force, which has to be in opposite direction, right? So it acts tangentially to the two surfaces, or it acts tangentially to the two surfaces in contact and is opposite to the direction of motion of the body. Next, limiting friction. Limiting friction is independent of area of contact, whereas static friction, it depends upon the nature of the contact, whether it is polished or whether it is rough. But here limiting friction is independent because it is at the verge of moving, right? It doesn't determine, it is a maximum static friction which is acting on that object when a force is applied. Next, limiting friction is directly proportional to normal reaction, that is F is directly proportional to R. Now in this case, as the object is not moving, so this force which is acting on an object is directly proportional to the normal reaction. So here it is being seen that limiting friction is greater than the static friction. Next, we have laws of kinetic friction. It is independent of the area of contact as long as the normal reaction remains the same. That means when the object starts moving, so it remains independent of the area of contact. Kinetic friction is proportional to normal reaction. That means Fk is the kinetic friction which is directly proportional to normal. When this proportionality sign goes, we will get an coefficient of friction. Okay, that is called nu. So Fk equals to nu R. So from here static friction, limiting friction and kinetic friction, it has been seen that static friction is greater than kinetic friction, or the coefficient of friction, kinetic friction is less than the coefficient of static friction. Coefficient of friction. Now according to the law of limiting friction, the frictional force is directly proportional to normal reaction. Now what does this mean? You see, like for example, we have one table and a block is placed here, right? So block weight is acting in downward direction and its reaction force will be in upward direction, right? Now when you are applying a force in forward direction, that is P is the applied force, so the applied force will be more if the object is more heavy. That means this P is directly proportional to W. So you will require more force to move an object which is heavy. If you will require less force to move an object which is lighter. So that means applied force depends upon weight, right? And as weight is acting in downward direction, weight is directly proportional to R. So what you see, this weight and this frictional force, they are also related. If weight will be more, so more frictional force will be acting in downward direction. So in a short, what we can say, this force, the frictional force, it is directly proportional to the reaction force. Okay, I repeat, the force which you are applying on the block, if it is heavy, means if the weight is heavy, then the application of force will be more. So that means applied force is depending upon weight. Now if the object is heavy, so more frictional force will be acting in the backward direction, right? So therefore the friction is also depending upon weight. So what we can say, that friction also depends upon weight and applied force also depends upon weight. Therefore the weight is directly proportional to R, right? So because of this weight only, frictional force acts. So W is directly proportional to R, or F is directly proportional to R. So F is what? Limiting friction or force of friction, which is directly proportional to reaction force. If this proportionality sign goes, we will be getting a constant of proportionality, that is called mu, right? So mu equals to F by R. Now this mu is called coefficient of limiting friction, right? Coefficient of limiting friction is defined as the ratio of limiting force to that of normal reaction. So coefficient of limiting friction, you see I have noted down here. This is the coefficient of limiting friction is said to be as constant of proportionality, which is the friction between any two surfaces in contact and that of normal reaction. Now you see, this is the mu, that is F by R. We got this coefficient of proportionality, right? Now what will be the angle of friction? Angle of friction means here, when an object is placed on a table, the reaction force is acting in upward direction and weight is acting in downward direction. When you are applying a force in forward direction, a frictional force is acting in the backward direction. So the resultant force is given by this diagonal, you can say OB, right? Now, or you can place this one as C. Okay. So in a triangle AOC, you see tan theta equals to P by B, right? So in the P what we have AC, in the B what we have OA or AO, right? Now this AC can be written as BO and this OA can be written as BC, right? So OA can be, now you see here OA is remaining as OA only, but AC is being changed into OB, right? So what is OB here? From the diagram you can see that OB can be denoted by F, that is the frictional force which is acting in backward direction, and OA is the reaction force. So therefore tan theta equals to F by R. And what is F by R? Because F equals to mu R, so mu equals to F by R. So in place of F by R, what we have substituted? Mu. So therefore mu equals to tan theta. So this was the angle of friction of an object when it is placed on a horizontal table and a force is applied horizontally, right? So in the board I have noted down one question. A heavy box of mass 20 kg is placed on a horizontal surface. So mass is given here 20 kg, right? If the coefficient of kinetic friction between the box and the horizontal surface is 0.25, now coefficient of kinetic friction is given, that means mu k is given 0.25, right? Calculate the force of kinetic friction, also calculate the acceleration produced. that means force of kinetic friction we have to calculate, and also we have to calculate the acceleration that is produced in the body, right? So these are the terms given and these two we have to find. So first of all we will see that F equals to mu r. F equals to mu r. That means when an object is placed like this, its weight is acting downward direction, weight equals to mg, and the action force is acting in upward direction. So in place of r, what we can substitute? In place of r, we will substitute r equals to mg. That means mg, right? So F equals to mu into m into g. Now we will substitute these values here. So what we will get here? Mu is given 0.25, that means 25 by 100. Mass is given here 20, and g is given here 9.8, right? So when we will calculate this one, we will be getting here 25 4 4 2 4 5 20, right? So therefore 9.8 into 5 when you multiply, we will get 49. That means 49 Newton. Okay, this is the kinetic friction which is acting. So force of friction is how much? 49 Newton. Also calculate the acceleration produced under the force of 98 Newton. That means now application of force, the force which is applied here in the question, it is 98 Newton. That means this force is 98 Newton, and the force which is acting in backward direction, that is 49 Newton, right? So we can find the applied force, applied resultant force, okay? So how much more force is being applied? That means 98, that is P minus Fk, that means 98 minus 49. So here you will get 49 Newton, right? Now applied force can return m into A, so A equals to 49 by m. So 49 you will divide by m is given how much? 20 kg, right? So when you will divide this one, 49 divided by 20, you will be getting 2.45 meter per second square. So this was our acceleration which is produced on the block when 98 Newton is applied on our object and frictional force is 49 Newton. So what is the acceleration of the block? Acceleration of the block is given by 2.45 meter per second square. So for this class only this much. Okay, so I hope you are understanding the YouTube videos, because in interactive classes, so it is a time loss. I cannot write the questions here. If I write the questions on the board, then it takes time. So only maybe we get only half an hour. So I cannot complete the more topics, right? So after these YouTube videos, I will be coming online. Okay, I will interact. So please know your mark your doubts, so that you will ask me. I will clear as much as it is possible, right? So watch the videos regularly and do not skip the video, right? And whatever notes I am writing here, pause the video and write it in your exercise book. Okay, see you soon.